Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Monster Super League. It's your boy Odin, and today we're going to be doing some summons on the brand new Primo Festival, limited Primo Festival Beach Muse Siren. And before I basically go ahead and do some of these summons, as you guys will notice, I don't have a lot really to do. I kind of went all out on the last Heroes Festival. I did pull a couple of mons. I just haven't been able to upload those videos, but really for today, there's two things that I'm on the fence about. And really it comes down to like the longevity of the game and like how I kind of feel lately with the direction which the game is going. And one of them is with the heavy pay to win packages. And now the second part for me personally is this limited Primo Festival. So as you guys know, we do have the Miho, which was also a limited Primo Festival from last year at this exact same time. And what the company has been doing, Smart Study at least, has been kind of really trying to get you to your wallet, right? And although I am very supportive of the game and I really like the game, I don't personally feel like it's a good thing for them to put certain mons behind a paywall and force you to kind of really have to dish out in order for you guys to get it. So they're kind of preying on, FOMO, fear of missing out, for you guys to open up your wallets and try to get these characters. So I just don't know how I feel about it as to whether or not I really do want to spend some money on the game or not. Personally, I've been kind of just taking a break from Monster Super League for the last 2 months or so, or at least not put out as many videos as I do. Obviously, I still log in and do my dailies and things like that, but I have not been grinding as hard as I usually do. And it's not from burnout, it's not from anything like that. It's just personal life. I have a kid. Now I've been super busy at work. I got a promotion. It's just been a whole bunch of crazy things. My sister got married last month, and it's just a lot of things that basically happened at the same time. But either way, getting back to the point of the game here is that I just don't know how I feel about the Siren. The Sirens are really, really good, so I'll go ahead and basically give you guys a quick overview of where you would use them and how they would work. But they're, in comparison to a lot of the other existing mons, they are not that much greater. For example, the fire one here, she's a defender type. That's great. She's fire. That's really good. She's going to be really good for Titans, really good for Apophis. My issue here is that there is already a monster that currently exists, which is Okeanos, who is not a limited Astromon. So if you guys want to skip out on her, feel free to do so, because there is going to be that chance in which the Okeanos will come back to the Primo Festival and you'll be able to pull her up from there. Also, she's available from the eggs. If you get really lucky, you get a 3-star egg, pull a light and dark, boom, it happens to be Nat 5 Okeanos light, and you got an exact copy of this one here. Same leader skill, same everything. So for them to put this mon behind a paywall, in my opinion, is just kind of why? Why would you do that? Now folks that missed out on the Miho from last year, now they can't get that Astromon if they are going to continue this way. So it's really kind of okay, you have a collection type game that in which your whole goal is to get every single Astromon, but now you have a player who joins, let's say this year, now they can no longer attain the Dark Miho. So that's my problem right now, that I'm kind of currently iffy on really how they're gonna work the limited Primo Festival, or how they're gonna work out this summer festival. Because that's kind of what it seems to me, what they're trying to do is just kind of really target the fear of missing out. And then now, again, really any new player going forward is not going to be able to go back and retroactively pick up the Dark Miho or the Light Miho or any of the Mihos for whatsoever. I personally was hoping that they would rerun Miho, because then I could pick up another 2 copies of the Wood one, which I, fed to my other existing Mihos. So it's just kind of one of those things where I'm just kind of on the fence about a lot of what they're doing right now with the Sirens. So anyways, here is the fire one. Like I said, the stats really are not much bigger than the Okeanos. It's just a Nat 5. There's plenty of other mons you can use instead of her. Don't feel like you have to have the fire one, although the fire one is pretty good. If you do pull one, I highly advise you guys not to feed copies of the Sirens into this one unless you're a complete whale and you have plenty of gleams laying around. Use the super gleams that you can pick up from the world boss. Coincidentally, this weekend the Vitra world boss is running, so feel free to use your points from the world boss to pick up the super gleams to basically level them up. Here's the water one. Water one's a tank type. defense down and shield. Really good for Apophis. Maybe some use in the light or the dark Apophis, but aside from that, no use anywhere else. So really, for me, the water one is probably the least of the most usable ones out of the Sirens. The wood one is actually really good. She's an exact replica of what the water Cura is, and if you know what the water Cura is, you know that she's like basically the best front lane and back lane leader for both Apophis and Titans. You know, there's a couple here other mons that you can substitute for her, but the water Cura is still your best bet. So really, the wood Siren is just a step up from what the water Cura is. Again, really, you're only looking at about a 10-15% stat boost when you go from the water Cura to the wood Siren. So because of the super evolution for the water Cura as well, I don't think you necessarily need to go for the wood Siren at all. Really comparatively, it's only a 5% stat boost that the Siren has over the water Cura super evolved. So in my opinion, still use the water Cura. She's still better in, you know, as far as like time wise, the ability to leave the exposed weakness up for the right hand side. The water Cura is still better in my opinion. So you really, the only reason why you would go for the wood Siren is maybe for like the collector portion of the game, and that's it. So again, guys, don't feel pressured to pull for these mons or feel like you're missing out, because there's other mons that can do the same thing. They're really, really good in their own way, and the stat boost is great because they're Nat 5s, but it's not like you cannot do with a 3-star mon or a 4-star mon or you know, any other mon that currently exists in the game. You're looking at the light one. What other Astromon has the exact same skill set? The Fire Zeus. Fire Zeus is easily pickable you can easily pick up the Fire Zeus from the Apophis dungeon with just the soul shards. Yeah, it takes a little bit, but the Fire Zeus is also much easier to get to Evo 3. You're trying to get this light one to Evo 3, you either have 3 copies of the Siren, which is again limited, so you don't want to use too many of her copies to feed her in, or you're forced to wait around until you find a Super Holy Gleam from the world boss, which will take, I don't know, somewhere around, I can personally pick up a Super Holy Gleam in about 2.5 months worth of farming with the world boss, just stacking up my points. But for the majority of players, something that's very unachievable, it might take you 6 months just for 1 Super Holy Gleam, and you're going to need 3. So unfortunately, guys, I hate to say it, but skip out on this Primo Festival, just completely. Like, yeah, she's great, she looks nice, but in the state of the current game, in which there's very limited uses, how much resources you need to get them to Evo 3, and the current existence of other Astromons that have better, if not easier ways to level them up and better skill sets or similar skill sets, I personally don't think that, you know, you guys should need to go for this mon. It's really just a trophy mon, as you guys know. That's how I, you know, tend to really refer to a lot of these mons. The dark Siren, you know, really same thing. She's kind of like the exact replica of the Cernunos. They put out a patch for her crit damage, and, you know, 'cause she had resistance instead of the 50% crit damage bonus. But I'll tell you guys right now, she is not a huge Titan hitter. Really, you know, the skill set that she's got here, it's geared to put her in the Titan spot, maybe for the front lane, but then you're losing out on something like attack up, or something like defense up, or something like attack up and defense up. You know, so you really have to pick and choose. So is she the most viable mon that you could pick for your top lane? No, absolutely not. You're actually much better off running 1 damage dealer, 1 Astromon that does attack up, 1 Astromon that does attack up and defense up, and then 1 Astromon that does defense up entirely. So 1 damage dealer, 3 healers is much better than picking up a dark Siren, who again, really that Courageous Strike really only applies to damage done in Titans, and she's not even the best in slot in that position. So again, guys, she's a trophy mon. You don't need her. Don't fall into the mistake that you feel like, oh my god, I gotta have it because she's limited and I will miss out on her if I don't have her. Personally, guys, like, I can afford to buy all the packages right now, but I'm gonna tell you guys, I really don't want to, and I feel like I'm not going to do it this time around because of the whole issue that I'm personally seeing with the current state of the game, in which is like, all right, let's cash in on FOMO, and, you know, it's whatever. And to me, it's just not fair to the community You know, the community is already as small enough as it is. And some of you guys may disagree, or, you know, feel free to agree or disagree with me, you know, but I personally don't think that a lot of you guys should go for it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the summons now, or at least the ones that I did get. I've been saving up my tickets. Again, really, my Astro Gem count is really low because I went all out on the Heroes Festival, because I assumed it was just going to be the Dark Mihawk returning, not the, I think it was like the day right after I did my summons. Let me go ahead and put this on Do Not Disturb. The day after I did my summons is when, like, you know, they put out the news for the Siren. So it's like, okay, we only had about 10 days worth of notice. What's the point? So anyways, guys, don't forget to pick up your 1,000 gold package here. It's just a ticket, you know, a gleam, which is worth it. You know, some fruit and some gold. So make sure you guys do that. Let me see if I pick that up. This new ticket thing that they put in there from Camilla, just so you guys know, it's just like an ad skip. So it basically just allows you to skip the ads that you need to do for, like, when you're trying to get, you know, your gold and doing your dailies and that thing. So all right, so I got basically enough to get up to the first egg, which is 120. So we're just gonna go ahead and go for it. If we pick up something, great. If we don't, whatever. But really, guys, to be honest with you, like, I really am kind of bothered by this a lot, and it's mainly, again, because of the fact that, like, I feel like the community needed something better than this. And you know, maybe you guys will watch, you know, Elio do some crazy summons. Maybe he'll pull something really good, but I don't believe, like, even, you know, a lot of other people picked up a lot of the Dark Mihos from last year. So it's like, now it's like, okay, is she ever going to return? More than likely, no, because that's what the way that they're kind of gearing this limited Primo Festival. So I just don't know how I feel about it, guys, to be honest with you. Again, really, it's just more of, like, personal choice, to the point where I'm just like, they could have done something better. You know, it's not like events like this come around very often. So, you know, they could have, you know, maybe been done like a freebie where you pick up one of her for free. You know, not stick her around. Basically, you have to get to the 120, the 240, or the 360 to pick up one copy of her. So, you know, with the rates currently, you know, as it is, and, you know, maybe some players being able to pick some up, other players not being able to pick her up. The state of the current, you know, community, with the numbers being so low, so many people, like, you know, kind of really leaving the game for better games that currently exist. There's just no point in you guys spending money for this game if Monster Super League is not willing to spend the effort to turn the game into something that's actually helpful and fun and entertaining. And all they're doing is doing what every other game right now is doing, is just trying to basically hit to your wallet as soon as possible. No point in staying, guys. And you know, I've been covering the game for like 2+ years, 3+ years actually now. You know, I've played the game basically since like a year after its launch. And, you know, as much as I enjoy playing it, I do think that they could have done a little bit better with these, you know, with this particular event. I mean, here I am, guys. I've done basically 9,000 Astro Gems and haven't pulled a single one. And that's really the thing that I'm talking about here, guys. I don't want a lot of you guys to feel like you have to summon, because if you don't, you're gonna miss out and you're not gonna be able to pick one up, you know, in the future. And it's just it's really dumb. Like it really is. And you see, you guys, I picked up the worst one, the only one that I'm just like, I could care less for. You know, I may do like a second video if I decide to go back into it. But I honestly just don't feel like doing it at all. Like, personally, I just don't think that it's worth me spending any money trying to pick up another copy. Again, guys, you see it. Like, if it wasn't for that guaranteed, I would not be picking up a single Nat 5 right here. So I just don't want you guys to feel, again, really the same way that a lot of people do, which is just fear of missing out. I gotta get in it, I gotta have it, and you end up like this, you know, where you do, you know, basically almost 10,000 Astro Gems and you don't pull a single copy, and then you end up going to 600. You spend $400, $500 because that's how much it's going to cost you to pick up all the packages, and you end up with what? An Astromon that you still need 15 gleams for, 3 additional copies, you know, just to get one of them to Evo 3. And you got 5 different types of them to get to Evo 3. So really, again, guys, I hate to say it, save your gems, find it in another event. She's not that great. Cosmetic wise, you know, it's just an Astromon to collect. There's plenty of other Astromon that you will get out there to collect from an end game standpoint. And as you guys know, my box is pretty insane. You know, I'm able to beat every continent in the game. I don't think that any of these mons are necessary. Again, really all they're bringing to the table is an extra like 5-10% boost to other existing Astromon, and they're not anything better than what's already existing. You know, like if you're really a min-maxer and you're a whale and you can afford to spend $300-400 on the game to pick up a copy or pick up a couple copies, then go for it. But if you're just a regular player, don't think about it too much. It's just another mon coming to the table. There will be plenty more mons coming to the table. Who knows, maybe they'll release another Primo Festival for her in the future, but the way they're tailoring it to you right now is that no, they're not going to. So just don't give in to the FOMO. Let it go. It's just another Astromon. You know, be like me and just kind of like take it as like, it's okay. You know, at some point in time, all these games are going to go away. Monster Super League's been around for like 6 years. The average lifespan of a game is anywhere between 3 to 4 years. The fact that it's made it up to 6, 7 is already kind of like an achievement for the game itself. I don't want you guys to feel like you just wasted 3, 4, 5 grand on the game 4 or 5 months down the road when you find out that, hey, the game is closing for a new game or things like that. So again, for the utility of the game itself and for the game content that currently exists, you do not need to go heavy for these Astromon. So save your money, find some other way to spend it, doing real life things, going out to the beach, buying yourself a nice dinner, going to a hotel, you know, staying at a new place, going on vacation, that type of stuff. The game will always be there. There will be plenty more games for you guys to enjoy. Don't fall into that trap where you're just spending money for a game. And this is not just me, like, you know, saying I'm salty or anything like that. It really is just me just saying, you know, looking at the monster like, it's okay. I don't really need it, you know, that type of thing. So take it with a grain of salt. Feel free to like the video if you actually agree with me. If you don't, you know, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys have much better luck than I did. Obviously she's a pretty good looking mon. It's nice to have, collector's thing, whatever. But me personally, I think I might just not come back to, you know, summoning on this particular banner. I had a lot of fun, and I still have a lot of fun pulling on the Heroes Festival banner instead, or some other Primo Festival banners instead. So as you guys will know, I also pulled a water bath, so here she is. So, you know, really up to you guys, but in me personally, I'm not really that great or not really that excited about a mon that, you know, is stuck behind the paywall. So even as, again, somebody that can afford it, I just don't think it's really necessary. So, all right, guys, well, that's it for this video. Sorry for the really long rant. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all on the next one. Take it easy, guys.